Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and the Houston Rockets drafted Thompson with the 4th overall pick in tonight's NBA draft. I'm extremely proud of what the Rockets did in tonight's draft. They picked up Thompson at pick 4, and then a blessing in disguise came to the Houston Rockets in the middle of the draft as Cam Whitmore, somebody who the Rockets were considering at taking at number 4 overall, someone the Rockets were considering taking over Thompson, who they ended up taking at the 4th overall pick, just took a collapse in this draft, a huge collapse. There was reports about teams had bad workouts with him and teams had bad workouts and bad interviews, and there was health concerns, and he just dropped. And he dropped all the way to the Rockets at pick 20, where the Rockets did not hesitate and picked Cam Whitmore, who was expected to be a top 6 pick in this year's draft and was expected to stay in the top 10. And he fell all the way to the Rockets at 20. The Rockets didn't even have to trade up for him. And, he did great for the Rockets this year. And, he did great for Villanova this season, averaging 16 and 7 and 2 steals per game. He's 6'6". He's viewed as one of the most NBA ready type players in this draft, and I was extremely impressed on this Cam Whitmore selection, and that especially that he fell to us at pick 20. But I'm going to talk about Thompson and the Rockets selecting Thompson. I'm not as excited about this Thompson selection as I am the Cam Whitmore. And I know that sounds crazy because I'm very excited for Thompson. It's just I've been preparing myself for Thompson. I've had a really good feeling the Rockets we're going to be drafting him for a while. That's been the plan. That's what it's been looking like for a while, that's what the Rockets were going to do. But Cam Whitmore, this came out of nowhere. Cam Whitmore just fell to us at 20, and that's why it's so exciting because I did not see that coming, and it was just a shock. But, Thompson, I'm extremely happy for and just can't wait to watch him play. But, I've been waiting for this. We knew the Rockets were going to do this. It was pretty much, the Rockets were going to draft Thompson. Everybody knew that because, unless the only way the Rockets weren't going to draft Thompson is if someone if either the Blazers or the Hornets took Thompson before we had the chance to. So that was it wasn't, there wasn't a lot of excitement at that pick as it was for Cam Whitmore because a top 5, top 7 prospect fell all the way to the Rockets at pick 20, and we already got another top 4 prospect in this draft with Thompson. We got arguably 2 of the top 6, top 7 best prospects in this NBA draft and got both of them in this draft. Honestly, the Spurs definitely won this draft with getting Victor Wembanyama. But the Rockets, I don't want to sound biased because I'm a Rockets fan, but getting Thompson and getting Cam Whitmore, I honestly do feel like the Rockets might have won this draft. I really do. I think Cam Whitmore is going to be a hell of a talent. I really do. I think he has a lot of potential to be a really good NBA player. This was someone before the draft started, before the Rockets even got him. This was someone I thought that would have potential to step into the NBA right away. He's a guy who's going to be able to step in right away for the Rockets, and I think he's going to have a lot of success for the Rockets in what with this franchise next season. I'm so excited for both of these guys. But Thompson, let's just talk about him for a minute. With the overtime elite this year, look, he's 6'7", and he can play the 1 through the 3, and we kind of needed we didn't have a good point, we didn't have a good passing point guard last year, and that's what Thompson's going to bring in with averaging 8 assists last year with the overtime elite, averaged 20.8 points per game and also 8 rebounds per game. So he can do it all for us. He also averaged 3 steals per game with overtime elite. The defense this guy's going to bring. And then not only that, but Cam Whitmore is also a solid defender as well. This defense is improving for the Houston Rockets. You have other guys like Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, Jayshawn Tate, Kevin Porter Jr., KJ Martin, solid defenders. Now you add in Cam Whitmore and Amen Thompson. This Rockets defense with those 7 guys who are good defenders, and maybe the Rockets signing Dillon Brooks. I know Rockets fans don't want it to happen, but I think the Dillon Brooks signing is going to happen. And honestly, with how, I'm going to be honest, the Rockets signing Dillon Brooks would not be that bad. If it's a cheaper deal for Dillon Brooks and we sign Dillon Brooks, I'm actually not going to be that upset about it, because the Rockets defense next year, if they add in Dillon Brooks with all the other defensive pieces they have already, the Rockets defense is going to be one of the best defenses in the NBA next year, most likely. So I love what we've done in the draft. I'm so excited for Amen Thompson. I don't know if he'll be the starting point guard for the Rockets next season. I think that is something that's going to be tricky because, but he might not be the starting point guard. There's a chance he could be a starter for the Rockets, because the Rockets, that's the thing, is that they have $60 million in cap space to spend in free agency. They have the most cap space to spend in free agency. So, like, if you look at maybe the potential starting lineup for the Rockets right now with free agency, not even happening yet, you're looking at a lineup of point guard Amen Thompson, shooting guard Jalen Green, small forward Cam Whitmore, power forward Jabari Smith Jr., center Alperen Sengun, 6th man Kevin Porter Jr., 7th man KJ Martin, 8th man Tari Eason, 9th man Jayshawn Tate. That's what that's what the rotation is looking like. And you haven't even got to free agency yet, and you have $60 million in cap space to spend. So you got 9 men. You got 9 men in the rotation that deserve playing time as of right now, and that's not even getting the 2 free, because the Rockets are expected to pick up at least 2 or 3 players in free agency this summer. So I would expect the Rockets to be active in the trade market over the next couple of days before free agency begins. And I'm really excited to see what this roster, starts to look like after free agency is over. But even though this is impossible to happen because the Rockets have to spend their money in free agency, they have $60 million in free agency to spend. They have to spend a little bit of it. They don't have to spend all of it, but they have to spend most of it. Even though this current roster, if this team still didn't sign any other free agents and they went with that if they went with the current guys they have, if they went with a lineup of point guard Amen Thompson, shooting guard Jalen Green, small forward Cam Whitmore, power forward Jabari Smith Jr., center LP, off the bench KPJ, KJ Martin, Tari Eason, Jayshawn Tate, yes, they would be very young, but with Ime Udoka as their head coach, I honestly think the Rockets would be pretty good next year. I would think, I would view them as a team to maybe win 35 to 40 wins next season with just that core right there. And that's not even including the free agents they might bring in. So I'm excited, Rockets fans. You guys have your thoughts on the draft selections for tonight for the Rockets, and that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Rockets.